combined ratios. As the name suggests, we have two ratios, A is to B and B is to C, and we have to combine them and find A is to B is to C. So A is to B is 5 is to 8, B is to C is 12 is to 7. This B part is common in both the ratios, but its value is different in both of them. We will make this common part B same in both the ratios. So LCM of 8 and 12 is 24. We will make B part 24 in both the ratios. So to make this 8 as 24, I'll have to multiply it by 3. So I'll multiply this whole ratio by 3. Okay. To make this 12 as 24, I'll have to multiply this whole ratio by 2. So this first ratio now becomes 5 3s are 15 is to 24. A is to B is 15 is to 24. And B is to C becomes 24 is to 7 2s are 14. Now I can combine these ratios. I can club them together and write A is to B is to C as 15 is to 24 is to 14. This is the way how this should be done. Now try this one. A is to B is given, B is to C is given, C is to D is given, and D is to E is given. We have to find A is to E. If I multiply these ratios, A upon B into B upon C into C upon D into D upon E, then this B and B will get cancelled, C and C, D and D will get cancelled, and I'll have A upon E, which is asked in the question. So to get A upon E, I can simply multiply these ratios. This would be 1 upon 2 into 3 upon 4 into 3 upon 2 into 4 upon 3, which will give me 3 upon 4 as the answer. A is to E will be 3 is to 4. Now this one, next one is little difficult. We need to find A is to B is to C is to D is to E. We need to club these four ratios. So A is to B is 1 is to 2, B is to C is 3 is to 4, C is to D is 3 is to 2, and D is to E is 4 is to 3. I'll start from top here. This B part is 2 here, B part is 3 here. To club these two ratios, I need to make B part same in both the ratios. LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. I'll multiply this first ratio by 3 throughout so that this B part becomes 6. I'll multiply the second ratio by 2 throughout so that this B part becomes 6. So I'll write the ratios again. This is 3 is to 6. 3 multiplied to 1 is to 2. This is 3 is to 6. Then 2 multiplied to 3 is to 4. This is 6 is to 8. Now I can easily club these two ratios as B part is same. Next ratio is 3 is to 2. Again we have a problem. This is C part. This 8 represents, this is B is to C and this is C is to D. So this is C part which is different in both the ratios. LCM of 8 and 3 is 24. So to make this C part 24 in both the ratios, I'll multiply this ratio by 3 and this ratio throughout by 8. So let me write these ratios again. 6 is to 8 will now become 18 is to 24 and 3 is to 2 when multiplied with 8 will now become 24 is to 16. So now C part is same and these two ratios could be easily clubbed together. But again the B part has changed now. In the first ratio it was 6. In the second ratio it has become 18 now. So to make this 6 as 18, I'll multiply this ratio throughout by 3. So this first ratio 3 is to 6 when multiplied by 3 will become, this will become 9 is to 18 now. And the last ratio which I have is 4 is to 3. This is D is to E. So D part here is 16. D part here is 4. LCM of 16 and 4 is 16 only. So to make this D part 16 here, I'll have to multiply this ratio throughout by 4. It would be 16 is to 12. Now I can easily club these four ratios and write the final answer A is to B is to C is to D is to E as 9 is to 18 is to 24 is to 16 is to 12. I have written the common parts one below another, so I can easily club them and write 9 is to 18 is to 24 is to 16 is to 12 as the final answer. Next, we have two commonly occurring scenarios. How would you find A is to B is to C in these two cases? Well, the easiest way to find A is to B is to C is by equating this to K. 2A is equal to 3B is equal to 4C is equal to K. So A will come out to be K by 2, B will come out to be K by 3 and C will come out to be K by 4. So A is to B is to C will be K by 2 is to K by 3 is to K by 4. And we know that we can multiply or divide the ratio throughout by same number. Its meaning will not change. So we can divide this whole ratio by K. We'll get 1 by 2 is to 1 by 3 is to 1 by 4. And LCM of 2, 3 and 4 is 12. So we can multiply this whole ratio by 12. 1 by 2 into 12 is 6. 1 by 3 into 12 is 4. 1 by 4 into 12 is 3. So the final ratio A is to B is to C is 6 is to 4 is to 3. Many students commit this mistake of directly writing the ratio as 2 is to 3 is to 4. They take these coefficients and write the ratio as 2 is to 3 is to 4 directly, which is wrong. This is the way how it should be solved. In this next case also, we will equate this to K. A by 2 is equal to B by 3 is equal to C by 4 is equal to K. So A will be equal to 2K, B will be equal to 3K and C will be equal to 4K. A is to B is to C will be equal to 2K is to 3K is to 4K. Divide the ratio throughout by K, or you can multiply the ratio throughout by 1 by K and we will get 2 is to 3 is to 4 as the final ratio A is to B is to C. I hope you got this. How to find combined ratios and how to deal with cases like these. Thank you.